Welcome into Arsenal Report, and it's officially scary hours for Arsenal fans everywhere with the way that Liverpool are moving. Their ambition and the way they're attacking deals and the way they are platforming themselves to go from this Salah, Trent, Van Dijk era into the future should scare everyone, not just Arsenal fans. Yesterday, we got reports of a bid for Isak and the willingness to go maybe up to that 120 million pound mark, which Newcastle say is the only time they'll even listen to an offer. And they've basically said to Newcastle, okay, if we don't go up to that, we're just going to steal Hugo Ekitike out from underneath your nose. That's scary, good ambition. And on top of that, they're also potentially moving for Rodrygo. They said they could go for Isak and Ekitike, Isak and Rodrygo, Ekitike and Rodrygo. It looks like they're looking to spend about 200 million more pounds on summer signings, on top of the 150 they sent on Wirtz. And yes, this is all attacking signings. The squad building is not perfect in terms of the way they have 1-6 in Ryan Gravenberch. Van Dijk or Konate were to get injured. Joe Gomez is their only other center back. They definitely need to get some other types of signings in, but the way that they're attacking the market, the opportunities, and the way they're rebuilding and not letting this kind of, they had one down year, but other than that, they went back to winning last year, and it looks like they're going to be the favorites to win this year. So, yes, I'm a little scared, and also, they're looking at signing Rodrygo, which is a player who has basically been our marquee idea of a signing all summer. And the whole Rodrygo deal is just a mess because Real Madrid are impossible to work with. They use the media so much in terms of these deals. They are now looking at potentially losing Vinicius next summer. They are not going to sell for cheap, even if Rodrygo tries to push the move. It's one of those that's going to have to go on all summer, and Arsenal may just not want to wait. Because if Liverpool enter the race, if Arsenal, the season starts in 25 days, if they want Rodrygo to be in training and stuff, it may just be a matter of going to get Eze instead, or going to sign Javi Simons instead, or figuring out some other plan rather than potentially making a sale, which they have considered doing, selling a Martinelli or a Trossard or both, and then immediately having to find a replacement and not waiting for Rodrygo. The Club World Cup really screwed this deal up a lot, and I still think Arsenal are very interested in the potential of Rodrygo. But with Liverpool coming in, with the amount of time off Rodrygo would need, the amount of matches he's played in the last year, I could see it being off-putting to the Arsenal staff. Now, I know he still is technically the first choice on our list, but the Eze deal is moving forward. Gyökeres, we're just waiting for final confirmation. It really will come down to, do we have to sell to buy? And if we do, can we take the risk of selling and then not being able to sign Rodrygo for another 20 days and going into the season without a true new left winger? Because I don't think Arsenal are willing to kind of do what Liverpool are doing, which is, okay, we like who we have. We are going to wait for our targets to get them and go into the season with who we had last year. Whereas Arsenal, I know, want to get these deals done fast and have their full squad ready to go when the season starts. Some good news for Arsenal fans, though, is Ethan Nwaneri did sign his new contract, and amidst all of this nonsense about Ethan Nwaneri demanding playing time, demanding a central role, demanding this and that, the truth of the matter is none of that happened. Ethan always wanted Arsenal. He was offered tons of different pathways in Europe and in England, including the Jude Bellingham pathway at Dortmund, which was basically, they said, come to Dortmund, we'll platform you for 2 years, and we'll sell you to Real Madrid. And Ethan Nwaneri said, no, I want to play for my boyhood club. I want to play in the Premier League. I want to play centrally. I want to fight Odegaard for that role. And that's what's going to happen. And I would not be surprised, and I think people should realize this right now, if by the end of this year, Ethan Nwaneri has overtaken Odegaard in that position, with Max Naumann being the second in line for that position, and Martin Odegaard sold next summer. And I don't mean this in a hateful way to Martin Odegaard, but I think the project has kind of moved past him in that role. We're moving into a true number 10, somebody who's more decisive in the final third, someone who could have double-digit goals and assists in the final third. Eze is a player who could do really well there. Should we potentially go for Eze and Rodrygo, or just Eze, or whatever it might be? It just feels like that player is a little bit different than it used to be in terms of what they're needed for in the team. And I think Ethan knows that. I think Ethan's been told that, and that's one of the big reasons why he signed this contract, because the long-term project has always seen him and Max Naumann kind of slotting into that position and taking control from there. So great news to have Ethan staying. And listen, the reason it was done differently than Miles Lewis-Skelly is just a matter of agent. Miles Lewis-Skelly's agent is his mother. She doesn't use the media to get a deal done. She just was, getting Miles what he deserved. Ethan's agent is one of those agents who loves to use the media to get deals done and to get a little bit extra money, get some agent fees, whatever it might be, to get deals done. But Ethan was never thinking of leaving. He's got a new deal. He's got a big year ahead of him. Very, very exciting time for him. And finally, sales are the next big thing this summer window. It feels like the second this Gyökeres deal is announced, the same with Mosquera, it'll be a matter of let's get some people out the door, then we'll get in one or two more attacking signings. So Trossard, I believe, will be sold because it's weird. The contract extension talk has stalled. Now the talk is not a contract extension, but just boosting his wages without an extension, which I've never really heard of. That sounds like nonsense from his agent, basically just saying that he's on the market. Reece Nelson will likely go to another Premier League club. He has a lot of interest from Premier League clubs. I can see Brentford being interested in him as they are Omari Hutchinson, a bit of a cheaper alternative to Omari Hutchinson. Fabio Vieira, it looks like he's going to go to the Serie A. Although he hasn't been great, he's on such low wages and so many years on his deal that I do think you can get 15 to 20 million for him. Zinchenko still needs to go. So there's about 70 to 100 million there in sales that could happen, which basically funds your Gyökeres move and your Mosquera move to combine, right? Like those two combined are probably going to be funded by these sales. And then that leaves you basically, you sign Norgard, Kepa, and Madueke for a combined 70 million. So then you probably have room for an 80 million euro signing, which is Rodrygo. I think this has all been planned out well. It's a 250 million investment with 100 million in sales, 150 million investment. That's a normal Arsenal summer, and I think that's what we're looking at. So make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned on all the inside scoop on transfer rumors coming up here on Arsenal Report, and we will talk to you tomorrow.